for our sake, we get a game 5, but I know that Gen.G wants to end things right here, right now, and it is a Caitlyn to start off the ban list.
Yeah, this is kind of crazy because we often do see teams choose red side when we get this deep into Fearless because counterpicks become that little bit more valuable. Gen.G are electing to stay on the blue side, or at least choose the blue side this time. We'll see whether HLE can capitalize on it, as the Kiana is going to be taken away from Canyon. An interesting ban because he hasn't found a lot of success on it, but obviously he has been putting a lot of time into the champ.
This Galio, I think, is a still very important pick. HLE have put a big focus on taking it away from Chovy, and I feel like they have to keep doing that because the moment that it becomes open, I have this instinct that Gen.G will want to grab it, so I imagine Galio will join the ban table next. Kiana already been removed from the side of HLE, and there it is. So they want to still remove that option. For any long-time Chovy fans of this, you'll know how terrifying he is on the pick.
And there was many reasons why we have so much storylines going into Gen.G Hanwha Live. There's obviously the two teams and all the members on them really having, I think, so many different crossovers you can think of. You can go back to Griffin, you can go back to even the way I think Duro and Delight bursted onto the scene when they were brought into Gen.G.
Not to mention Peanut and Delight leaving the team and going over to HLE and sort of forming the other version. And then there's with different colors.
The fact we have Peanut and Canyon, obviously, in some of my favorite quarterfinals of all time, that Hanwha or D-Blast versus Gen.G way back.
I mean, this combo of junglers stole my hair.
They did.
That
did happen. Well, I wouldn't say stole, you did volunteer it.
Well, I mean, a 10k gold lead should not be surmountable.
That's B1.
Okay? Wow, okay. Ruler Yunara is the risk that HLE are going to take.
They banned Braum over Yunara.
I mean, you know this is coming, so they must have an answer.
They have to.
Oh, it's this. Is it the Smolder Yunara? Are we going to get the Smolder Yunara answer in Game 4 with their backs on the wall?
I do think putting all stocks in the Viper basket is a good call.
Yeah,
based on how this series has played out.
I mean, they're going to have to lock the Dragon here if they want it. Oh, no, I mean, not necessarily, but theoretically, Chovy could pick it away.
Aurora is also open.
Yep.
It's a big deal. Maybe the Aurora trade is going to be the option here, as Zeus and Zeka both play this champion very, very well. Peanut?
Also, junglers, like, the pool is getting pinched. Yeah, Nocturne.
Oh, the Aurora Nocturne. This one's going back a little ways.
Not quite the same wombo combo, but it'll get the job done. Especially if that Yunara doesn't have her flash available. Of course, she will have the dash with her ultimate activator, but still a very scary dive threat to come through from the side of HLE.
Already, I'm wondering whether you would be looking towards some of the best peel that's still available, right? We're talking Kench, just to keep the Yunara safe when the combo comes in of this Aurora.
I mean, Lulu possibly
of the Nocturne. Yeah, Lulu's another one. Then you always look at like what is Lulu good with, but a lot of the best skirmishing junglers in the meta have already been taken out, right? The Lulu Zinzao is one we always go back to, and this is a blind pick coming through here from Kiin, and I do think, as you highlighted, it's important to remind everyone that this Aurora is still flexible. So this is the only opportunity for Zeka to slam a Sylas, but blinding Sylas into Chovy feels really bad. So I would imagine that they go for something a little bit safer, which this could be.
Well, the Smolder, if they wanted it, they needed to lock it in here. And that is what we in the LCK have sort of deemed the theoretical answer to the Yunara towards the bottom side of the map. Allows you to kind of match the scaling and things like this.
They can also swap, play the...
Yeah, true.
The little dragon whose name Smolder.
Yeah, that's
they
Smolder.
can play Smolder into the
Cassante,
and then they can just have I mean, I'm assuming this Aurora is mid for now, but they can play whatever Zeus wants to bring to the bot side of the map. Ornn is a completely fine pick that they can have act in the 2 versus 2 if that very much becomes their early game plan. As we move into the second phase of bans, naturally Gen.G will target that support pool as HLE want to mitigate mid lane options. Ahri going to be one of the champions taken off.
Interesting one.
Yeah, Ahri has not been super successful, but that is a sign that Zeka is playing this Aurora, I do think. There's also the Renekton, which does still provide a ton of value at this point, and it's something that Hanwha Life could go towards if they want to run that into the Cassante, because we are rapidly, as highlighted, running out of picks. I was actually expecting a Sylas ban, even though there is clear signs this Aurora is going to go in. I think Zeka Sylas is for a very good reason. Very, very much feared. And Alistair alone, I think, makes that pick just so busted.
Exactly. I think it almost needs to be banned. As
That's my
Gen.G,
read, yeah.
Yeah, they're not going to take it away first up, but they do have another ban left. Let's see whether Chovy is going to get targeted again. Instead, it's the Canyon Lee Sin taken away. We were reminiscing about Canyon's Lee Sin only earlier on.
Well, Nidalee? Like, is that something that Canyon thinks about right now?
Can he play that one? I think so, maybe.
I mean, I don't think it's good, but you know what? When I see Canyon lock in a pick, I'm just like, all right, Canyon, I trust you.
What about Renekton, Nidalee, mid-jungle?
Oh, yeah, okay. No Renekton.
No Renektons allowed, as they're going to ban it away themselves.
A part of me would think Zeus would be considering something like a Camille right now, if it weren't for the fact that I very much expect HLE to swap. I very much expect this Smolder to go top lane.
Yeah, you just pick support here, right? You keep hitting where everything is going.
Yep.
Still
Hold the flex.
Still a ton of flex potential available, but Leona synergizes as well with really anything that you have so far. Just having the ability to set up for dives of the Aurora, as well as provide Smolder with easy ways to either stack or call his mom for help. And Gen.G.
Probably Annie for Chovy. At least on paper, that's kind of what would make the most sense to me.
I don't love it, but I think you might be right, Veddy.
Could certainly be an option. Still a lot of things that he could decide to play.
He's hovering it. He's hovering it.
Oh, the crowd.
Ruler doesn't often hover this champion. This might be real.
He's hovering it.
The time is ticking down. They locked it.
Oh,
we get Canyon Nidalee in theoretically the last game of the series, or he has to lose on his Nidalee for us to go to Silver Scrapes and have a potential reverse sweep. Okay,
I need to ask our stats. Does this man lose on Nidalee in best of fives?
Not often.
Not often. That's all right.
What is Chovy gonna pick?
He did famous. Wait, was he playing Nidalee in the game where I lost my hair?
Yes.
Yeah, he was. And we need a hecker.
It was Renekton Nidalee.
Yeah.
As the Hui comes out.
Chovy has loved this champion and a lot of range, a lot of holding them at bay, and a lot of buttons with different names.
Their engage is a little awkward, though. I mean, they do have a lot of poke available, Hui and
When in
Nidalee.
doubt, throw a cow at them.
And there's that one we were talking about earlier. So this very much suggests the potential. Oh, that's the other one I talked about.
Oh my goodness, are they going to do it?
Lock it in, lock it in, lock it in. Come on, Zeus.
Oh, we get Camille! Let's go!
Zeus.
When I threw these pick ideas out, I wasn't being serious.
They hovered the on, and I bet Zeus was like, do you think I'm a coward?
Pick me Camille right now.
Oh my god. I guess, to be honest, when he sees Nidalee and Hui, like, Camille is just so much better. Like, what are you afraid of on that side? You've now got Camille, Nocturne, Aurora, such a prevalent dive threat.
So we got Zeka on his Aurora, which he's not allowed to have.
Yeah.
Viper and Ruler in a scaling matchup. Chovy on a Mage. We have Canyon on a signature Nidalee. We have Kiin, Santé, and they both have engage supports.
The one thing that I'm a little bit worried about on Gen.G's side is Nidalee Hui. What is that supposed to do?
Poke you. Lock you.
Yeah.
It's not the craziest
It's the ARAM version that we're getting here.
And I think in theory, there's a lot of the Gen.G comp that doesn't allow you to play disengage, right? Into anything but Camille. Camille, to me, is such a nightmare to play into, and both Kiin as well as Duro are gonna have to keep that backline safe. If you can absorb the initial brunt, at least up until Smolder's online, I think Gen.G have angles in the fights. But if you are fighting with your backs against the wall and you've this many buttons to push, if you're Hanwha, it's in your own hands.
I would agree, but I do think that there is an element of execution that wasn't there in the last game. They have to be on the same page. They have to get these R buttons working together. And man, we are staring down the barrel of Silver Scrapes and a potential reverse sweep for our first best of 5 of the knockout stage.
Is it weird that I really like HLE's comp?
No,
like,
it's not. It's a really good-looking comp. It's not weird at all.
Because also, I'm just
You do love Nocturne, though, so I'm glad you checked
Nocturne,
your bias.
That is a little, yeah.
But the Smolder ulti on top of everything as well,
Yep.
I just feel like that they've got so much threat.
They do.
So much threat. And I don't feel like Gen.G have enough protection. I mean, I'm excited, if nothing else. As you guys mentioned, so much comfort on the lineups of both sides. And when I predicted the Nidalee and the Camille, I didn't really think it would come through. But the reason why I thought it was because when your backs are against the wall, when you have to feel like you have to perform, sometimes you have to default to comfort. And we're getting to see that here in Game 4.
We are. And Canyon has taken over games to the point where the compositions don't actually matter, right?
Oh, absolutely.
On a champion like this. Like,
Yep.
Peanut could just find himself with no camps left on the map and unable to do anything.
As Canyon is playing his own skin, which is always a nice
I mean,
flex.
this is like by a million miles the best Nidalee skin, and she has great skin.
I really want to highlight as well, because we have cost our fair share of Nidalee Canyon games. In recent times, I swear there's been like 3 matches where he gets killed early and you're like, oh, that's... Oh?
Speaking of killed early, Chovy in a bit of trouble. Kiin coming on over to try and keep him safe.
Okay.
Ooh,
As
not gonna
Chovy
start
walks
with
it
the
off.
Q.
Okay, a little bit awkward there, potentially for the top laner.
Well, both top
Chovy.
laners. Zeus has started with E.
Yeah, not ideal.
And we also have standard lanes as well. So it is going to be K'Sante into Camille to start this one off, as our scaling ADs just going to be doing battle.
And they're both scaling ADs as highlighted. I do think that the Yunara we have seen, Brutal in particular, look extremely impressive the moment level 6 gets available. Not unlike Zeri, where her all-in potential actually catches a lot of players off guard. Now, with Viper's performance thus far in the series, I don't think he's going to fall for that trap, but they will have to pay their due respect. And then we have, of course, both junglers looking to do very different things. Canyon just wants to get involved on the map. This is his trademark pick, won a World Championship, he has his skin, and even if you go back as recently as last year at MSI, this was one of the standout picks that Gen.G heavily relied upon, versus Peanut, who just wants to get to 6 as soon as possible and then is looking to take over the game. And I'm going to obviously defer to you, Vedi, as the de facto Nocturne expert.
Well, you've got to be careful about me being a Nocturne expert, because my expertise is very much centered around Nocturne mid lane, which Riot nerfed into the ground after
Justifiably
a
so,
pro or two
we
picked
might
up
add.
my suggestion.
It was a problematic champion.
No, it was
Yeah.
fair, balanced, and enjoyable for the whole family.
I think it was just a
In
missile.
any case.
It was a missile, and then everyone died.
I have many fun facts about Nocturne, so if either of you are interested, please don't hesitate to ask.
Are we
All
talking
right, what is the
lore?
best Nocturne skin?
The
And
best
why is it
Nocturne
Spooky
skin,
Ghost?
that's the second best.
What is the
Eternum is the best Nocturne skin.
No, it's not.
It absolutely is. The sound effects are glorious.
I'm Team Spooky.
Yeah, Spooky. It's just so the little ghosts on the Dustbringer.
That's true.
That are like, ooh, that's so good. All right, Zeus and Kiin doing what we expect, which is just fighting one another over and over again. But this is the Kiin Sante, and this is Zeus on a hard carry in the side lane as well, as Canyon searching for an opportunity here. Zeka taking a bit of damage already here in this lane.
So,
Oh. Kiin Sante doing some work here as Zeus gets the physical shield.
But there
to keep
is-
himself alive.
yeah, but Kiin is building a really big advantage here towards the top side. Actually, he just uses Cookie, but still has a pod. Zeus needs to be careful. He does have a ward, so he should not get hit by this. And I think going for a dive is overly ambitious, so they're not going to decide to do that. But it does mean that there's a little tempo advantage here for the Gen.G top laner.
If the ward wasn't there, it might have been an angle.
Might have been enough, yeah.
If
for
they
sure.
had have actually hit the spear, but gets a lot of heads up as far as where that was going. It's all right. Another little headbutt comes on through here from Duro. Knocks up Delight as we head back towards the mid lane. And we have a Zenith Blade going in. Achu is going to connect here as Viper. I mean, I don't even think he minds about what the trades do. He hit 2 people with an Achu.
Well, he's
feeling
actually
fantastic.
He's actually running PTA as well. So, like, in these short trades, he actually does a good amount of damage. Zeus is still here.
Not really where he
Oh,
wants
the
to be.
get
As
solo!
the Q is going to connect Kiin. Can he get the solo? He cannot. As he tanks up the turret. My God, this top lane has been insane.
That's not bad for Zeus, though, because he has TP, so he's able to, if he trades health, it actually might end up favorable for him.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that he's still here is the most... He's staying. He's like, I've got to get this wave. He wants to get a juicy base off.
Just one more wave. Come on.
Just
fine.
one more wave. Oh, the cannon! He gets
Oh,
it.
Zeka
All right.
picks it up.
Nice zoning there from Chovy, though. Okay, Zeus.
All right, I'm frightened on Zeus' behalf.
Okay, but the Q3 has one off from Kiin. He will get a tower plate, so a little bit of extra gold for him.
And Zeus does manage to get the cannon. And that's kind of the main thing, as Kiin takes another turret shot.
Oh,
does
he
have
got that
himself the
all.
shield.
Beautiful farming.
Oh, it's Chovy. Doing great in terms of health, but Zeka not really too bothered. Actually, when it comes to the CS department, doing a great job here on the Aurora. And obviously the range advantage is always going to be there for Chovy. But for me, his struggles start post-6 when both Zeka have easy ways to get on top of him, and he's going to have to contend with the threat of a Nocturne at any given point in time.
Exactly, and Peanut, as we can see, level 5 now is just booking it, trying to get towards that level 6 as quickly as possible. And oftentimes, Canyon is able to abuse jungle matchups because he farms so much more quickly. Nocturne will be able to keep up for the most part. Doesn't necessarily have the same kind of gank potential, but will definitely be able to eat through the jungle. As we're going to have a look here, 46-11 is a relatively good record, as 9-2 on the international stage.
He's only lost 2 games internationally on this champion. That's terrifying.
Yeah.
Yep.
You can tell why he chose Nidalee as
Oh,
his
absolutely.
champion in 2021, in 2020.
Oh, Ruler might be in trouble. There's
Yeah.
6.
Zeus waited. There's a Hextech ultimatum, and Ruler, when asked the ultimatum, he says, I got nothing. He flashes to try and get out of the way, but the flash from Viper, and first blood for Smolder!
And of all people that got the kill, it's Viper. And it's a setup from this Camille. Zeus happily sacking his own lane if it means he can set up a did TP back here.
He's
but
immediately
he's
in
fine.
the bottom lane.
There's coverage. Peanut's there.
Spots out this ward, knows that it's there, is unable to clear it just yet. As Canyon shares in some of this plate gold.
Ooh, okay, he is really
of
going to
farm.
be falling. Yeah, okay. So the experience he will get, but he is falling very far behind when it comes to farm. Might also set up a dragon here for Gen.G. Still Peanut.
Zeus hasn't based yet.
No, and he
He's
doesn't have
right.
TP.
He's getting a lot of value out of that Doran shield.
I mean, but he really
So he
needs to
teleported
base.
right to the bottom lane. Is that what he did? Like,
Yeah, he was top.
Yeah.
He was waiting in the brush, canceled his base, ulted Ruler, made sure he was dead, and then he TP'd the bot lane, which he probably should have based first.
I just imagine being Peanut pressing tab and thinking, like, Camille still has no items. Why said, hello, Camille, can we spend some gold, please? I mean, Kiin is doing a really good job of keeping him underneath the tower. So Kiin got a plate in top lane. I don't know if he got both plates in bot, but he's sitting at a 635 gold lead right now.
Previous crash.
A 20 CS lead.
Zeus, you need to back.
no, he needs
But he
needs the
can't
wave.
back. There's too much far.
And they know, I think, as well, that Peanut's towards the top side of the map.
Yeah, do you think they know what's happening in the bottom lane, Gen.G? Like, look at that vision. Look at all of those wards.
Zeus is going to base. This is his moment.
We are so excited about
Right.
Zeus going back home.
Guys?
This is one of the biggest moments. He hasn't even channeled it yet.
All right.
The next wave,
No, he's not-
conga
he's not
lining
basing.
forward.
There's no way he's
not
staying
basing.
for
No.
He's not basing.
No, he's playing the game where you need to build full items. Full Trinity Force coming in first up. I hope that's not the case, but Canyon moving on over here as they start up the grubs. HLE in position to fight as Zeus still hasn't based.
They can't contest this. Kiin is going to be here.
No, but Ruler isn't. There's no
Walking down
TP,
towards the
though.
bottom side is okay. Mom comes down, fair bit of damage comes on through. Unable to snipe that grub out of the way, so it should be 3 going over to Gen.G as Peanut gets in there to try and steal his... There we go. Finally, he goes back. Doesn't finish a complete Trinity Force, but Sheen
not
and
bad.
Phage nailed it.
Okay, well, in theory, his trading should be significantly better than it has been.
I
for the
reckon that's
entirety
backed
of
up
the
with a
game.
fair bit of fact there, Vedius.
But the awkward thing for HLE is they sent their bot lane to top, which meant that they weren't really in a position to contest Dragon, especially given that Zeus hadn't base and TP'd straight to bot lane. But then Gen.G reset Kiin after he shoves in bot side. Zeus can't TP or get involved in the fight, and given the Smolder is still scaling and their mid laner only has boots, it would have been a very risky fight for them to try and force, given their position. So first 2 objectives of the game going the way of Gen.G, and a lot of it off the back of Canyon just playing through his pressure lanes. And I think back to when Damwon won that World Championship, the meta was play for your jungler. Utilize your pressure in lane in order to allow your jungler to do whatever it is that he wants to do. And that was Canyon's meta. And that's what teams have to do when they play with his Nidalee. And that's what we're seeing on our screens right now.
It's working pretty well. But the Kiin Sante, man,
He's
we've
close.
seen this work before, the Kasante Nidalee. And I think it could work in this game as well, because this guy is so formidable. Viper is here with a bit of damage, but Kiin just walks out of the way.
But he's also been 1v2 for like half of this game.
Has he? It doesn't look like that.
Well, no, that's my point. And that's one of the things you did highlight, Vedi, that one of the worries that you do have with the Camille is what is happening to, as we can see, as Zeka is now answering to Hanwha, is that they are, even though 5% a great spot, they're kind of behind in tempo on these swaps. So Gen.G have just been continuously swapping to make sure that they keep the Camille in an awkward spot, whereas Kiin obviously doesn't really care being in a 1v2, was actually trying the base there to maybe rotate again.
So the way you fix this if you're HLE, Nocturne presses are on Ruler. right? And so Camille plus Nocturne plus ideally Delight is there as well, but you just set up a pick onto Zeus, and then this deficit doesn't matter because the moment that Zeus just gets a single kill to get the ball rolling, gets that first item completed, he's back in action.
Well, everyone's here. Zeus does have the hook shot. Circle not going to quite be enough to do it. Zeus will be able to back away. Still hasn't died. It's kind of crazy that our only kill is onto Ruler earlier on in this game.
It's so awkward now for Zeus because this wave is slow pushing towards Ruler. He can't afford to approach yet. Now we see Peanut and Delight doing exactly what they need to. Path towards bot to provide him with a little bit of freedom. And Ruler now like, okay, we'll push that wave back out. Overall though, game, very even state. While Kiin does have a big advantage, Viper has an advantage of his own. 20 CS, well 15 CS the lead, along with that kill. Viper is looking very scary on the Smolder with 86 stacks so far.
This is also a really easy game to read, and at one side, very clear, at least up until Viper gets, you know, up to his stacks and has RFC. And even then, I would argue that the comp as a whole is still dive. He just gets to do some poking. It's poke versus dive. On one end, you have Hanwha Life, who have so many tools to go in, start fights, and need to take out the key carries. And at the other end, you have Canyon, Chovy, and Ruler. They're just trying to poke or get as much damage up as possible. And Duro and Kiin standing bodyguard. But the tools for Hanwha Life are really, and this keeps repeating, they're particularly the Camille Nocturne combo is so hard to actually do anything against. So I think for Gen.G it's actually really important that Canyon, Chovy, and Ruler all stay in good position so that if you lose one, the other two can cover your bases.
Well, Viper picks up that cannon quite nicely here as Chovy taking a little bit of damage. And here on the bottom side, Zeus shows himself to Ruler. Canyon and Duro in the area. And it looks like HLE want to deny some dragon stacking here. The ability to equalize things is theirs. Zeus could be in some trouble though as he tries to get himself out. Canyon misses the spear though, so it looks like Zeus will be allowed to live for the moment. The rest of HLE starting off this Drake, but it looks like Peanut and Delight not going to be able to continue anything. We have, teleport available for Chovy going back to base. And we'll head back in.
Doesn't finish his item.
Yeah, Blackfire Torch not quite done just yet. And he's just going to be wandering back towards that lane.
Zeus is the bigger threat here though because he's still farming at waves. He has to be close to his Trinity Force soon. He's going back to base now, did tick over to level 10. And with that TP, I imagine, you can see the Aurora collapsing as well. HLE are committing to this dragon.
Yeah, teleport actually to the top lane. Kind of insane here as Kiin can teleport back down if he would like to. Teleport in from Chovy. They are going to contest this. There's the Pulverize onto Delight. He's got the Eclipse to keep himself healthy. As Canyon comes in, there is the Smite from the Nidalee. Works very, very well. Meanwhile, fight towards the top side of the map as well as the All-Out comes on through. Zeus does have the hook shot, just gets himself out of there. Another Hextech Soul. And Gen.G one step closer to that soul point.
And Canyon is able to not only get the dragon with the execute on the pounce, but also note, Zeus tried to TP in, or rather, Zeus also, I think, tried to join the fight and got stopped in Kiin, which is why he was in the river. Maybe the Camille could have been enough.
No, so
it was Kiin that was trying to...
Zeus TP'd to top, and so then what Zeus did was he fully committed onto Kiin to prevent him from being able to TP towards the bot side of the map.
Actually use
exactly, but that was the whole point. Basically, Zeus was trading his HP bar to prevent Kiin from TPing in because, as you identified, if Kiin had TP'd into that fight, it just would have been a disaster.
But they still got the dragon.
Yes, they did, because Canyon's Nidalee has a 9-2 record internationally.
Yeah, and also an execute, which is helpful. Peanut tried to make something happen there, of course, does have the Hex Plate now completed, so that ulti is going to be coming up relatively soon, but no assists on this Nocturne. And we talk about Ultimate Hunter quite a lot when it comes to Nocturne. You do really want to keep that cooldown as low as possible. Needs to start assisting in some of these kills.
My frustration with Peanut is I feel like he hasn't been pressing his ultimate enough.
Yeah.
I feel like that given the position Zeus was in, you want to just throw that out, if nothing else, to try and get flashes from your opposition, whether that be Chovy or Ruler, because around those dragon fights, those flashes being unavailable is a very big deal.
And also, you're not going to be out power farming the Nidalee. Like, it's just not happening, as we are already seeing. So I want to echo what you said. I think we saw some hesitation there, whereas if they had trusted Zeus to cancel the Kiin's teleport and actually committed, I think that fight was playable, right? They did get Canyon's flash, but just flash alone doesn't mean that much. And now Gen.G get to do what they love, set up and poke.
Well, it's right now just engaging onto this Rift Herald as Delight makes his way over. They know what's going on. Mom comes down, doesn't do much, if anything at all. But man, that Achu doing a lot of work. Zeus moving his way in. That's going to be the steal on the Herald. Between Worlds comes through as well, but Chovy takes first blood in the fight, but now it's HLE's turn as the Kiin Sante says not today, HLE! Turns around and slams them into the ground.
And the trade goes in favor of Gen.G. Hanwha do get the Herald though. Eye is picked up by Zeus, but that is costly, not just because of that initial trade, but top lane turret will fall.
Gen.G demonstrate how difficult it is to pull off this composition from HLE. They threw every single member onto a single target, but in doing so clumped up for Ruler to dish out the damage himself. And with Kiin being as strong as he is at this point in the game, it is a terrifying situation. We look back at the fight, the ulti used early from Viper as Delight uses the Hex Gates to get in from behind. Keep your eyes on the positioning of Ruler here. He has to move into the brush. Fog of War, he's not the target. Now they're all clumped up. Gets ulted by Zeka, but look at over the wall. Damage after damage. Chovy with the assist, throws out the ultimate, connects onto 3, and then Kiin cleans up Zeus on the back end.
And even though Canyon dies, this is what we were talking about. As long as 2 of the other members are alive and well, they're going to be feeling good. And at this point in the game, Kiin is also just a straight-up carry. He already had a lead. The one-item spike of that Iceborne Gauntlet is a big menace. And they got Herald, but it looks like they're going to have to pay with about a 3k gold deficit. Now the jungle is just getting invaded and Canyon's just getting blue buffs.
He's just stealing it all away. Kiin grabs
over the
himself
wall.
for blue as well. Did he flash over the wall?
No, dash.
Ah,
He
dash
bounced.
over the wall.
Yeah.
Okay. Good, I need to keep track of
Important
your,
distinction.
Yeah, dashes or flashes over walls. It's very important. As the eye was picked up by Zeus, of all people. Should be him taking down a turret. He does manage to do that, but
he has, he's the Herald. He's not going to use it?
well, we'll see. Paranoia is going to come on through here, as Zeka could be in some trouble. The Q3 connected, and down he goes. Peanut in trouble as well as the Redemption. Going to barely be enough to keep him in this fight. In the meantime, the Rift Herald is getting involved, but they take the inner turret. And that's an even trade.
That can't happen. You can't die as Aurora with Flash Up when your Nocturne's ulting. Like, you need to respect Aurora is one of the most slippery characters in the game. You can't just be caught by the Cassante there and end up dying, because if that doesn't happen and you just wave clear, Zeus is winning a trade for you on the opposite end of the map. I say, okay, he is out.
Yeah. I mean, that single fight, it feels like that has just broken HLE now. The advantage that Gen.G has garnered off the back of that has given them so much control over the game. Remember that Viper had a healthy lead over Ruler, and that's just disappeared, as only just now does Viper finish his second item. Dragon spawning in 4 seconds, and HLE have no position on the map. Just look at the vision coming through from the side of Gen.G. The entire enemy jungle is littered. HLE have a few wards here and there, but they are not in a position to contest.
That's the whole point. Where did the 2k gold lead come from?
Yeah, I was trying to figure that out as well.
Chovy's been farming like a madman.
Oh, right,
and Zeka just died bot lane.
So we are approaching 210 CS. It's not even 19 minutes.
Oh, so I was looking at Zeka being like, oh man, how did you fall so far behind? He's ahead of the clock. He's like, it's the same as the clock, basically.
A little behind, but it's not too bad.
It's not the worst.
Yeah,
well, it is, actually.
Chovy's the quiet carry in this game for sure. He's not making huge, flashy plays, but he's doing exactly the one he needs to. He's farming very well.
How loud do you have to be a loud carry? Because I watched everyone explode in the river.
Kiin is the loud man.
I was ready on this one.
I was pretty loud about that guy, too.
The thing that has to change is HLE need to be finding picks on side, and the problem is, I don't know at what point you're strong enough to kill Kiin. In theory, it's now. Zeus is level 13, Peanut is level 11. Between the two of them, they should be able to kill Kiin. The question is, what do you lose on the cross map?
And my mind keeps going back to that second Drake fight, the one that Canyon stole. If they get that dragon, the complete dynamic of this game changes, because Viper actually gets time to leisurely build to his 225 stacks. I think you might be able to get a second item on Zeka as well, maybe on Peanut, right? You have a lot more time, you have a lot more lead. They don't have a choice. In 3.5 minutes, they are going to have to all-in fight for this. I think Zeka should be able, or Viper should be able to hit his stacks, but the game position right now isn't great for Hanwha Life, and they basically don't get a do-over. I say that as maybe they catch Chovy.
Yeah, Chovy caught out of position with that solar flare. He has to flash as Peanut gets in there. The fear is beautiful. Spiraling Despair doing a whole bunch of work, and Canyon takes down Peanut. It's a 1 for 2 so far as Ruler now just trying to kite this one out. Zeus in so much trouble. So many orbs peppered into the back of his skull as Viper and Zeka now trying to escape, and the damage is just too much. Kiin chasing after them. The spear just barely misses, but they're holding them in place. Another spear flies through, and Kiin just dashes on top of the dragon. Zeka gets torn apart, and Gen.G are looking for a repeat of the LCK finals.
It's 20 minutes into the game, and Gen.G ace HLE. Not a single member is left standing as the Arakan is soon to fall. Gen.G have full control over Game 4 and are looking to make their return to the World semi-finals.
And for Hanwha Life, so many things enter the opportunity for Zeka to try and get back to that World Championship. Peanut, his final dance as we take a look. Yes, they get Chovy, but it actually takes a good amount of time. And even though they take him down, there are still so many characters. Again, it's a story of Ruler. He takes one Q2 to the face, and that's it. Kenyon's able to get out with his stopwatch and the flash, and there is more than enough damage available. That's before the Kiin Sante arrives.
Chovy getting his ultimate off just before he fell was so huge, and the collapse from Gen.G was so quick that HLE, desperately trying to find any pick that they can, ends in their demise. An ace on the side of Gen.G. And you can tell the coaching staff feel like that this game is done and dusted.
Yeah, Helper is looking absolutely manic right now in the coach's booth. And Zeus, the stark opposite of that one, as HLE's hopes are swiftly getting torn away. Soul Point, 5.5k, the gold lead.
9 kills, 100% KP for Canyon. We talked about the Nidalee, but like the stats really do back the man. There is a reason why this man is so feared on this champion. And the comp, again, just doesn't matter. When he has this champ, it feels like whatever comp he's playing with bends to his will.
Atlas,
Yes.
I know what we can do to save this, and I think you do too.
No. Well, okay, sure. Peanut, spiraling despair coming on through here. Yeah, I'll shave it off. If they win,
I'm with you, brother. Let's go.
Together?
For scrapes?
Oh, I love this. And potentially our last cast together of all time.
Viper has hit his stacks.
All right.
There's a dream.
2:30. I'm getting worried, actually. These braids are really fun. Took me a long time. Okay. Delight and Viper clearing things out. Gonna have to check my biases now. Gen.G, come on.
30 seconds until the Soul. I have to imagine that that'll be the point that this game is decided, because if HLE can't find a fight there, there's no coming back from that. The Hextech Soul and the lead that Gen.G have is just terrifying.
Hextech Soul with Nidalee and Hui does not sound like a fun and interactive gameplay experience. Like, that's just the slow, the extra damage, the chains.
And the fact that you can be hit by everywhere on the map is the really problematic part. As Chovy has demonstrated before, that this champion, he is very, very good at it. Dragon has spawned, they immediately start that one up.
All right, Hanwha.
Oh, Zeus is in a potential flanking position. Canyon, they haven't done a lot of damage to this Drake just yet. Duro waiting on the side. There is Mom coming down, doing a fair bit of damage. As Viper does have those stacks, it is going to be the Hextech Soul though. As now, can they actually stay alive in this fight? As Canyon, down to about 50%, dash cannons forward. And Gen.G, they will just back away.
They had to commit. I think you have to commit there. Try to play for the fight. Try to turn it into something more, because now you're just playing into Hextech Soul Poke.
Duro's positioning was phenomenal. He stayed behind the Dragon Pit to prevent Zeus from gaining any angle onto the back line. Gen.G played around their front line beautifully, walked away with the Soul without losing a single member, and converted into 2 towers as well. This game feels done and dusted. HLE need a miracle to turn this game around.
Viper will be able to clear out this wave, and I mean...
Oh, cancel.
The smolder scaling isn't necessarily what it used to be, but it is still a big deal. 265 now. But it is just feeling like Gen.G have this game exactly where they want it. And like you say, that Hextech Soul cannot be overstated.
It's so much power. Especially with this comp, I think there's compositions where you always get value from the abilities, the attack speed, but there are so many easy ways to proc it on multiple members. As we take another look, and even if there isn't a great angle, I really think Hanwha just not finding the opportunity. Peanut goes for the 50-50, but again, it's not really a 50-50 when it's Nidalee. Zeka Gets a little bit of damage down, but because of Duro marking that flank, no one finds anything. As Zeus.
Bit of a 1v1, going to turn into a 2v1 here as Kiin is in a lot of trouble.
Goes in.
Canyon moves on down, the all-out comes through, and he's all out of there by the looks of things. They are trying to chase him down, but this Cassante able to get himself out, and my goodness, those spears hurt.
The heal from Canyon enough to actually get Kiin to safety. Otherwise, Zeus definitely would have won out on that 1v1. The Camille finally being a threat in the side lane, but unfortunately it feels like it's too late. Level 15 on the Camille pales in comparison to the advantage that Gen.G has right now. Viper, the late game win condition, working towards an Infinity Edge, it looks like third.
Look at the CS numbers in jungle and mid.
No.
What is that?
Don't do it, actually.
Oh, now there's an Infinity Edge on Ruler.
Ah.
Yep.
Yeah, the Yunara is quite frightening. We're going to go with that, at least for now.
So,
Yes.
what does Hanwha Life actually need? Like, I think this is a tough solution, like a tough thing to crack. So
Kill
let's,
the enemy Nexus.
Okay, Max, I'm looking for extra suggestions here. So
What do you mean? That'd win them the game.
we're looking at a misposition for either Ruler, Chovy, or Canyon.
I mean,
Two of those.
I stand by the fact you need to do what we talked about early in the game. You have to 2v1 a lane and you have to kill someone.
Delight has to stay alive. He does at least do that, but no flash now on the Leona.
Gen.G are deliberately overgrouping. Right now, you've got 4 people hovering around the Baron, and obviously if you tried to kill Kiin now, they would just take the Baron, but...
Oh?
Well, let's see whether Zeus can just kill Kiin. That might be a win
Well, we know he
condition
can
angle.
win these side lane fights now. The problem is, what do they really convert that into, especially with Gen.G forcing the Baron?
Well, there is a back coming on through, but vision is available here.
Oh,
Kiin is going to interrupt it. Very nicely done. Mum comes down. 4 versus 4 here around the Baron. As teleports up for both of our top laners, Kiin could make his way in. As Viper singled out, and it is going to be Gen.G backing away from the Baron. Not biting off more than they can chew for now.
What about an Elder Flip?
Oh, I love that. Get the
Peanut
spatulas out.
swoops in, finds the flip, keeps the series alive.
That would be
Good,
extraordinary.
good brainstorm. Betty, I'm seeing some skepticism.
Guys,
over there.
Zeka is so weak. Like, I don't
Why?
think he
I
does
know,
any
I'm trying to
damage.
talk around it, Betty. He's behind almost a full item.
Yup,
And
Actually,
the Baron
he is.
possibly just dead
I think it is.
as well. Actually, only down to about
Alright,
50%
yeah,
more now. Oh my god! That damage is revolting. As Zeka caught out yet again, Kiin is in amongst it. Redemption not going to quite be enough here as Zeus gets pulled out with the all-out from Kiin, but he flashes to try and get away. The Guardian Angel is going to be there, but Delight just explodes with that spiraling despair. Ruler is on a rampage now as he takes down Zeus, and the Baron should be free for Gen.G now.
No remorse as Gen.G pick apart HLE once again. Kiin delivers Zeus to the rest of his team, serves him on a silver platter as they secure themselves 2 kills and a Baron. HLE desperately tried to approach the pit, but Gen.G give them no room to play.
There is so much poke, as we can see. There is Kiin holding multiple people hostage and then also kidnapping Zeus. But you can see the health bars, they just can't stand up, particularly in this choke when you don't have any place to move, but you need to contest the Baron. You're forced into a lose-lose situation. And again, that fight starts with Kiin getting on top of Zeka, taking this Aurora out of the equation, and the rest of the members just can't quite find it. And I think you're starting to see it dawn as well on the faces of Hanwha as their run at Worlds feels like it is on the precipice of ending as
Well, Canyon's celebrating by breaking his hourglass as once again, this scared Yuumi every single time. But he can just do that. He retains 100% kill participation, by the way.
Like the collapse, just as you're saying, Veddy, it takes too long.
Well,
The
even with
engage
Peanut here,
just
he doesn't
isn't
look
there.
scared. Chovy has an army of siege minions as well. Zeus wants to continue fighting here, but he just doesn't really have an inroad. They have to force a fight. They have to make something happen. But it's instead Duro that tries to go for it. The ulti out from Chovy is looking to try and kill him. Redemption comes down as he's dodging all of this poke. Redemption for the snipe, but he's able to walk his way out. But it doesn't really matter, does it, guys? Because there are 2 inhibitors now lying on the floor. Now we're going to go for it. Into the backline goes Peanut. He's headbutted back and just exploded. Viper doing a fair bit of work here, though. Kiin going to be the first one to be taken down. Ruler, can he be the hero? As it's Viper, Gets down so low, almost in range. It's Chovy. Destroys Delight, and whenever they walk forward, oh my goodness, Zeka will finally find something here in this game, but there is a Kiin Sante still standing, and I don't know whether Zeus is going to be enough to take him down, and he isn't.
If it was a 2-for-2 trade, maybe Hanwha Life could try and look to play off of that. They still have the small, their Elder is up, but with the trade going in favor of Gen.G, I don't know if that's a possibility.
Canyon and Chovy still do so much damage here as they're moving back towards this Elder Dragon. Information will be there, but you could see it. HLE thought that maybe they could race over here to try and contest, but that would definitely be game over if they just fell and Gen.G walked up and destroyed their base.
HLE, the base is in pieces, but Gen.G don't feel confident enough to actually start off the Elder Dragon. Instead, they're going to push out these waves once more. The pings from HLE are coming down. Concern around the Elder being started. Ruler now returns to the Rift, and that should be the go button for Gen.G to start off this objective.
Yeah, great fear there on to Zeka as he's almost just popped like a balloon. What the heck was that? Almost just one shot by Chovy alone. Look at the poke damage. Duro snipes him with the redemption, and the all-out comes through from the Kiin Sante. He wants to go to the semi-finals, and he wants to go there right now. It's Zeus that's able to finally put him down, but the rest of Gen.G catch up, and it's Ruler with the double kill to send HLE home. Gen.G once again book a ticket to the semi-finals, and they're looking to continue their extraordinary run here at 2025 Worlds. And Chovy, he'll just take a little bit of a sip to celebrate.
It was an incredible series. HLE really pushed Gen.G to the very limit, but the comfort picks from Gen.G in Game 4 was enough to make a repeat of the LCK finals.
You can see there as well, so many hugs between these two teams. The bonds that tie them run deep within the LCK amongst different rosters, different teams, right?
So much over time, and there was going to be heartbreak no matter what in this series. The last dance from Peanut is finally over, but